y'all ready for this?
Welcome to Maximum Overload Podcast. I'm G. Holloman. I have a special guest here today. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.
What's up, guys? My name is Daniel Maisonet. I'm the proud owner of Happy Buyers Automotive. You can find me on eBay via seller name Pro Tang, as well as Happy Buyers 941 on Instagram. Unfortunately, at this time, I don't have a website, but it is in the works.
Cool. How did you get into the auto industry?
And where it originated from was Fast and the Furious, the first one.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Paul Walker and the Fast and the Furious really got to me. So one night I decided to browse Craigslist, and there was an advertisement. The advertisement said, "We will teach you how to make $100,000 by selling automobiles." So I responded to the ad, went to the interview the next day, Lee's Toyota in Queens, New York, which wasn't far from where I was living at the time. And they gave me the opportunity. I had a love for cars. I just didn't know how I can turn that into a business or into actually doing it for a living.
So at what point did you see yourself turning it into a business and your way of living?
I quickly figured out that I was blessed with the gift of closing. Anyone can sell, but not everyone can close. There's definitely an art to it. So I really enjoyed putting a deal together at whatever it took. And that's when I saw myself, I said, hey, I may have something here. I may have something that can turn into something long term.
Explain the difference between you and other dealers similar to you or other dealers, period, who kind of do the same thing, like sell online, and explain how that's profitable.
What makes me different mainly is I have my cars checked out by a mechanic to make sure that I'm solving a problem for someone and I'm not creating one. When you're in the less than $10,000 range, what you're looking for really is for someone to be honest. It's not about the car. You don't care about the chips. You don't care about the dents. You don't care about the scratches. You care about if the check engine light is on, if it runs well, if the tires are good, does it need brakes?
Structural problems.
Structural issues that most dealers don't even do. You know, they don't get it checked out by a mechanic. If the next hurdle making me different is I answer the phone 95% of the time on the first time that you call. How that differs me from everybody else is for you to get another dealer on the phone that can speak to you in a manner and not make you feel like just a customer is incredibly difficult. The percentage of people who have to call again, actually, if you don't pick up the first time, there's a 75% chance that they're not going to call again. So you've now lost a sale. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be out on the boat because we live in Florida. I could be on vacation. It doesn't matter where I am or what I'm doing. Even if I'm having dinner with the family, I always answer the phone because communication is a very good, effective tool for any success as an entrepreneur.
Let's see what else we can get into. How do you market and advertise?
eBay is a really big source to advertise. eBay is actually the nation's #1 advertising source for motor vehicles. They have the market cornered.
Right.
The number 2 is Car Gurus, but Facebook has really changed the game. And I don't put them for free on Facebook and then sell the car. I actually pay for paid advertising on Facebook. So it targets people who are looking for a specific car.
What are some of the hurdles that you had to overcome?
So the biggest thing I had to overcome initially was myself. And what I mean by that is you have to put your pride aside and focus on other people and how you can motivate them to help you in your journey. Because Tom Brady wouldn't be Tom Brady if his wide receivers or linemen didn't protect them, right? Or the wide receivers didn't catch the football, although they dropped a couple last season. But
right. I get it.
You know, so the first thing I had to overcome was myself. Before and after the pandemic, you know, giving yourself a greater purpose than just selling cars and making money, because if I don't sell cars, other people don't eat. But on the flip side of that is you can't be only about yourself when you own a business. You have to put other people before you. How can those people, what can they do for your business, but what can you do for them? Okay, because if they don't clean the cars and they don't organize the cars and they don't go pick up the cars and they don't fix the cars, then in reality, what business do I really have? So overcoming, learning how to treat people and being better was one of the many things. But one thing that I pointed out, and I wrote this down because this was important, the feel of owning a business and being a failure. That is huge, because the only thing that I used to say when Tom said, open up your own dealership, was, why are you scared? You're already doing it. It's already happening. You're already selling cars. What are you scared of? And my rebuttal to that was, I'm scared I won't be able to pay rent.
Right. So he got you to overcome that fear.
Overcoming it and not knowing how you're going to sustain, because when you work for somebody else, the problems that you inherit when you own your own business are totally different.
Yeah.
If the business fails, it's not because of if you don't own it, it's not because of you. Everyone can walk away, but if you own it, there's a reason why it failed, and you have to get to that why before it fails. So that's where where it comes in. So one thing that was important to me with owning a car dealership was to not have a bank or an investor involved. The reason being is you don't want the pressure of someone else down your throat saying, did you sell a car today? Or I need my money back. I got to put it into something else. You know what I mean? So at the time, I think I had somewhere around $10,000 or $15,000, and that's all I had. Like literally all I had to buy inventory, make sure that everybody's paid, make sure that I can buy cars, that I can make payroll, the whole nine. Transport cars. And I had to overcome that. And the way I overcame that was I just worked and worked and worked and worked. And, eventually the money was a byproduct of the work.
So I want to ask, knowing what you know now, what are some of the steps that you can give someone who wants to walk in your shoes, start up, get going, make a good profit margin off vehicles selling online? Can you go into some of the steps that you would advise?
Sure. Yeah. First, you have to consciously make the decision that you are going to fail. Not the decision. You have to put in your mind that you are going to fail, period. If you don't go into it thinking you're going to fail and you're going to have to try again, and it's just going to be successful and you're just going to blow up, it's incredibly difficult to do that. I have a couple things written here. The number one thing as far as steps to start or model what it is I'm doing is wake up early. Okay? You cannot start a business and wake up at 8 o'clock. It does not work that way. Okay? You have to wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. Why? Because the people who are sleeping till 8 o'clock are not going to make money. They are not going to be successful in a sense of doing anything different than everybody else. Okay. In the car business, if you're not the first one at the dealership and the last one to leave, then you're probably only making $40,000 a year and your wife's not going to be happy with you. I'm sorry. That's the truth, because there's no way you're going to work 100 hours a week and only make $40,000 a year. There's plenty of other jobs. You can work at Dunkin' Donuts nowadays and make $16 an hour. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So the second thing is you have to understand both sides of the business. So waking up early, understanding both sides of the business, and figuring out what your niche is going to be within the car business. Because buying and selling cars is easy. Knowing what to buy, how to buy it, where you're going to buy it from, what market you're going to serve, what happens if you encounter an issue. Does it need leather work? Does it need mechanical work? There's a lot of steps that go into buying and selling vehicles that customers only see the end product. So if you want to mirror what I'm doing, then you just got to make a list of things that you would do if you were buying a car, and then work it backwards to what that person did to facilitate that transaction. And then that you would wind up with the same steps that I have.
Right.
The third and most important thing to articulate, not articulate, to model what it is I'm doing is you have to become a closer. You have to. You cannot sell anything if you do not close. Anyone can present you, anything. But how are you going to use the person's words with them to close the deal?
What's a bad experience that you remember and that you always take with you that you had with a client?
One was more virtual. So I sold a Bentley to a guy probably 7 years ago. I was about 1 year in with Tom, and we do a lot of things sight unseen. And this was when PayPal was really popular. Everyone pays for everything on PayPal. Okay. I particularly don't trust PayPal. That's just me. So this guy buys a Bentley from us. We ship the Bentley to California. We send him the title. It's paid for through PayPal and credit card and all that sort of good jazz. Next thing you know, we get a letter in the mail 30 days later. The guy put in a dispute with his credit card. So we're on the hook for 30 or 35,000, I can't remember. So the way disputes process work is they take the money out of your account and they put it in a holding account. And we contact the customer, doesn't pick up the phone, doesn't answer text messages, nothing like that. Now, he was real. I have his driver's license, everything like that. So I call down to the local police department. We respond to the dispute. And the credit card company says, nope, he's well within his rights. He got his money back. And we lost out on $35,000, the car, and the title. So now at this point, we're like, okay, this is a bit, bit bad. So we contacted the police department, and they said that he is well within his civil rights to do that. Yeah. Every one of them that I know. So that was it took a long time for us to recuperate from that. That's one story. Another one is, can I say the guy's last name? Is that bad?
That's up to you.
Okay. The customer's name was Scrogy. I sold him a 2004 Mercedes S55. Still remember to this day. Had 66,000 miles, black on black. One of the nicest cars I've ever sold. And it had the plastic piece on the top. They call that a bug deflector. So when you have the sunroof open, the bugs don't come in. And under that, which I didn't see, there was one rust bubble. So he receives the car, and mind me, this guy's a lawyer. Okay, I love selling cars to lawyers. You know why? Because they sign the contract, they sign the as-is, they sign everything. And you know what? If you signed it and you get the car and it's something you didn't expect, you're a lawyer. You should be smarter than me, okay? I'm not smart. I am dumb, okay? I am not very smart. I am car smart, okay? I'm not lawyer smart, okay? Those guys are smart when it comes to the law. They twist the law to work in your favor. He sent us a nasty letter saying we need to buy the car back, and he's not happy with it. He sued Tom at the time. And, of course, I felt responsible. I didn't do anything wrong. Tom knows I didn't do anything wrong. He helped me through the process. He coached me through. We responded. And, Tom finally said, I'm just going to fight this because we didn't do anything wrong. We used it as a lesson. And we actually won. It took about 5 years. He won. And I paid my portion, through car deals through the years when we were doing deals together. Yep, because I get some of his business, so I paid him back through that. As we're a team, so we have to look out for each other. And we won. We got $3,000 from Scrogy. That was by far the worst experience I've ever had. I mean, I've dealt with some pretty nasty people.
But that was it, huh?
But that's the one that sticks out in my brain.
What do you want to maximize in the near future, business-wise, going forward? Like in the near future, what do you want to change or get better at?
I would say to have better structure, a better network of being able to find cars in a more efficient way. And a bigger social media presence that is not the traditional car world. So one thing that I was thinking of was kind of like just to wear a GoPro all day, you know, and then edit that down, you know, fast forward it 5 times and or make highlights every of the day and give people a real sense of what it really is to be a small used car dealer.
So you're saying like from the time you buy the car,
Correct.
It
Yeah.
goes to detail
Yes.
or upholstery repair,
Yes. All that
then
stuff.
on the lot, then to the warehouse or whatever.
Yeah, and keep track of time and, you know, just kind of give a real thing, but also add like a funny skit to it. You know, so that's where I like to go with it, and how I think I can maximize it is really focus on selling myself and the process of which I do things, and kind of letting everything else organically go. And I think social media is going to be a big part of that. You know, there's not many 34-year-old young men with a backstory that can say, hey, I started with nothing and now I have I think the year before, I did like 3 million in total gross sales. So it was a good, that was the best year I've ever had, by the way. Now that's gross sales. That's not net.
That's not net. I understand.
I would have a Plaid, not a Model 3, by the way.
Yeah, you would.
A Plaid, I'd have a little more fun. But yeah, just maintaining organization and a bigger social media presence, I think would maximize, and working on the website. To me, I think that it's analysis by paralysis for me. Really just sometimes I get so far deep in my head, like, okay, I want the website to be this and this and this. And the other day I decided, I said, you know what, let me just get the website out.
Just get it out and then tweak it.
And I'll tweak it.
Tweak it as
and
it
I'll
goes.
tweak it. And you know, the thing is, I just need one central area that people can go, that I can direct people. Okay. And then if I can
Right.
direct traffic, it's like, you know, a traffic jam. You know, if I can direct traffic a certain way, then I can actually tune that traffic into the way I want it. You know what I mean? And control which traffic I want to attract to it. But until I create that avenue, it's never going to be there. So yes, that is, I would say we're going to be, I would say by the end of September, my website's going to be live. It's www.happybuyersautomotive.com. I'm not sure if I want to change the name. I do like the name Happy Buyers Automotive, but I think that I need to incorporate the Happy Buyers into something more creative. And I've come up with a pretty cool logo. It's just things that I haven't done over the years because I was so used to doing things a certain way that now, since social media is taking over, with this and along with other things, it helps build trust with customers who are not in Florida or can't come look at a car. So
Yeah, but you got to evolve. So maybe you got to change some things.
You know,
So
change
it's all
is
about
good.
evolving.
Yeah, evolving is
So-
great, and change is good. And I think an important word is adapting. We have to adapt to the time. This phone is the source of income for you. You already spend time doing something that's not making you money, watching Instagram Reels, watching TikToks. Do something that's going to make you money.
We say tick thought here.
TikTok. I don't like TikTok. I've deleted it.
Did you?
Yeah, I deleted Instagram. I don't. If I'm scrolling on my phone, it's probably because I'm looking for a car. As I said before, it's a big part of my life, and my wife just understands that it's just in my blood. You know, it's really hard for me to put it away. It just really is, because I haven't reached, and even when I do reach that level which I want, it's just you have to be able to ask yourself this question, which is when it was an incredible question that you've given. I appreciate that. How can you maximize in the near future? Because if you're only thinking about the right now, then tomorrow's going to come anyway. You have to think about it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I am in life. And, you know, along with changing the values and changing the way I do things and changing my diet and not drinking soda and, you know, doing things that are conducive of a more productive life, just transitioned. And, you know, having the right partner is another part of it, you know, and she is the right partner.
I
you know,
agree.
when your wife is with you, when you've had nothing, you know, I tell this story all the time. We used to share $4 Chinese food when we were younger because we were so broke. We had no money. Dude, we had no money. Like, we were so broke that we had to share Chinese food.
And then
Like,
you share
that's
that
deep.
memory
That's
with
deep.
her
Now
now.
it's like, yeah, our girls, they don't hear no. And it's not because they're spoiled. It's because your job as a parent is to give your kids the life you didn't have.
Living better now, Gucci sweater now.
I take that to heart, like 100%.
Yeah,
you know, that's
good.
why it was, I think it was like 3 weeks ago. I literally texted everybody I know and I said, I'm selling everything. I'm selling everything. All sports cards, all sneakers, I don't care about none of this stuff. What I care about is family, building a good business, and giving back to others who are less fortunate.
How does Dan enjoy his time when he's not grinding?
Somehow, some way, every day, no matter where I am or what I'm doing, it's involved with a car.
What sneaker did you always want growing up?
The sneaker that started it all was the blue and white patent leather Jordan 1 highs. They were the shiny Jordan 1s.
Yeah.
That they came in black and red and blue and white.
Right.
They sell now for about $1,200 brand new in a size 9. That was the sneaker that started it all. In Jordan 1s alone, I probably have 95 pairs.
What's the next car or truck that you want to get in the future?
If business is really good and it gets to about 80 grand, I think the Plaid, in my opinion, would be worth it. So I see the value in that car. I love that car.
Jordan or Kobe?
I personally think that there is no comparing the two. They both are very, very, very similar in many ways. If I had to really choose between the two,
Right.
I'd choose Kobe.
You would?
I just think Kobe was a hard person to be a teammate for, but his appreciation to win was more reflecting than Jordan's. So he cared much more about people than Jordan did.
Yeah.
In my opinion. That's just my opinion. Although they both are great.
Biggest regret?
In life?
It could be in business or personal.
Biggest regret. Not appreciating people before my motorcycle accident. You know, making people feel heard and letting people finish their sentences. And mainly my wife, you know, not making her feel important. That's my biggest regret. You know, we all have regrets and we have to work towards it. And the people who are meant to be in your life are going to be there. And whoever's not, then it's, you know, the way I view it, it's their loss.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
What's a song that gets you hyped up and gets the adrenaline pumping?
I have it here because I told you earlier I wasn't good with songs. So I'm going to double check here.
What do you got?
I took a screenshot. That's how bad I am. Drake started from the bottom.
Started from the bottom now?
Yeah, Drake is... I wouldn't say the best influence, but he's also not the worst. You know, he lives what every man wants. You know, all the ladies, the money, although I'm not chasing those things, but you start from the bottom and you just work your way up. And if you get knocked down, you still got to get up. That's it. That's just what it is, you know, and that's the hype song or the go-to song that I can think of.
I had to pick one car to take to Sebring, an S2000 or a Miata. Which one you picking?
This is a tough question.
That's why I asked it.
Yeah, this is a tough question. And you're asking this because I had both cars on Instagram.
But I've driven both cars too.
But if I had to choose the two, I would choose a S2000. It has more power. I think the understeer is going to be better because the chassis is more well thought out. I think the throttle response is going to be much better based off of the size of the engine. And I think the Miata can be modified, but I think the S2000 just offers more of a reliability from the Japanese. I can't remember the term that they use, but they build stuff to intentionally break it to make it better. And that's what Honda does very, very well. And that's why their resale values, even on their older cars, are very good. So, yeah, I would choose the S2000.
Dunks or Air Force Ones?
Oh, easy Dunks. Yeah, Air Force Ones are just big and bulky and heavy, and like they're just, you know, you got the guys walking like ducks so they don't crease them, and they got these crease guards. It's like, why are you wearing? Listen, you might as well just walk around barefoot if you got a crease guard.
We were in the mall one time, and my son asked me a few years ago. He was like, "Daddy, why is he walking like that?" And I was like, "Because he doesn't want to crease his shoes." And he looked at me, and he was just like, and I had to go into it.
Yeah, I don't understand the thought process behind that.
Song that it's the soundtrack to your life, past or present life.
I don't know the specific song. Actually, I do. It's Mac Miller, Best Day Ever. The reason being is I don't have the attitude that today is a crappy day. But yeah, I mean, best day ever is what I live by. You know, it's just, you can't take it for granted. If you're lacking motivation, no one's gonna motivate you more than yourself. So you have to first wake up and say to yourself, I'm gonna be different. Okay, if your life sucks, do something different. If you're not where you are weight wise or pay wise or whatever it is, I mean, I hate to say this, but whatever excuse it is that you're using in place of what you could really be doing, just do it. I mean, there's no excuse in the world, you know? Don't expect anybody else to do it for you, because no one will. That's just what it is. And the world is very careless. The world can care less if you do anything tomorrow. But there's one thing that does care, and that's your bills and your wife and your kids and how much self-responsibility you want to put on yourself. So just make sure that you're waking up every day and giving the world the best you can, and never tell yourself no. You know, take a pen and a paper and write down when you're at work, when you get out of work, say, okay, this is what I'm doing. And then substitute what it is you are doing to what it is you want to do. And if you do a little bit every day equals a lot. That's what I live by every day. I'm not done with my tile at my house, but if I do a little bit every day, it'll be done. If I paint my house a little bit every day, it'll be done. Even if it's just an hour a day, it'll be done. Okay? Just do a little bit every single day and it'll be done. And if you're unhappy, then no one's going to make you happy. Nothing's going to come. You're not going to win the lottery. You're not going to just magically buy one car and sell it and be a millionaire. It doesn't work that way. You know, I had to learn this. That's why I value time and doing something that's going to be productive for me and my family versus material items. You know what I mean? Time equals money. And if don't waste my time. Listen, I've lost plenty of money. Gambling, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can't bring back time, you know, so don't live in regret. Just keep pushing forward and do the best that you can, you know? So
find you again, your website and any social media.
Yeah, so the website's not up yet, but it's Happy Buyers, plural, automotive@gmail.com. So happybuyersaautomotive@gmail.com. Instagram is happybuyers941. 941 is the area code of which we're located. And then on eBay, most of the time it's through Proteng, Proteng. And the website should be up and running hopefully by the end of next month, if not before. And I'm going to get my email if that's okay. happybuyersaautomotive@gmail.com. If there's any young entrepreneur that has a question or a comment, or you need advice as to where you are, or even if you just need somebody to talk to, you know, and you want to be an entrepreneur, or you're just down in life and you feel like, you know, life's dealing you your cards, then email me, happybuyersaautomotive@gmail.com. Listen, I want to help people. That's my greater purpose. If I can help just one person be better than me, then I've done what I was called to do. And that really is worth it. To spend, you know, an hour or two with G and to be able to give the younger audience or any audience advice is humbling from where I was to where I am now. So yeah, if anyone needs help, reach out. I don't charge. I'm not trying to sell you anything, nothing of that nature. Just reach out and I'm more than happy to spread my knowledge for free. Okay. And this is stuff that you're not going to get anywhere else. No guy in the car business doing this every day is going to give you information for free because they don't want you to compete against them. I want people to compete against me because I'll figure out what you're doing and I'll do it better, or I'll teach you how to do it better. That's what life is about. That you need competition. So yeah, reach out and no problem.
I appreciate it, guys. And we're going to close out, and we'll see you on the next one.